Sandwich off in here. So what's the difference between Cindy Carpenter, a Rhino county commissioner for Butler County, going to an apartment complex where her granddaughter had a dispute over rent and flipping off the employees there? And I have to say all that because she's technically listed as a Republican, but she goes out and endorses Democrats and does all kinds of things that make her come across as Democrat. But anyway, her thing is recently she got a lot of criticism because she flipped off a bunch of employees at an apartment complex. I think trying to, I don't know, why is that different than Trump flipping off a bunch of workers at the Ford plant that he visited recently? What's the difference? And I think that's what she's asking. Why is there a double standard? Why is it bad for me to flip off people, but it's cool when Trump does it? So here's the big distinction. Trump had been touring the plant and walking around. Of course, there's union people don't like him. A lot of union people do like him, but he was getting heckled as he was leaving. And a lot of times politicians ignore that kind of thing and don't say anything about it. And Trump just gave him flipped him off, the guy that was heckling, to acknowledge, hey, I don't have time for you, but here's what I think about you. And people like that. It's an authentic reaction. They like to see, because Trump is representing them in these kinds of things. And they like to see, if they were in that kind of situation, they would like to see their representative defending their interests as a representative in the Republic. So flipping them a heckler, the bird, is something people genuinely would like to do themselves, and they like to see their representatives doing that. So that made it okay. And when Cindy Carpenter, the Butler County Commissioner, did that, she comes across like a Karen. She comes across as somebody who is trying to use her power and position to get a favorable outcome for a family member. And that's something people don't like. So even though they both involve the bird flipping off, somebody that you're in opposition against, that might be the case. However, they're not the same kind of situation. When Trump does it, yes, it's cool. When Cindy Carpenter does it, it comes across like a spoiled brat, Karen that's mad because their kid didn't get to play the first string soccer team. And they're trying to use power and leverage to get it. Trump, in this case, to tour a plant, he's walking away. He's going back to the next thing he's going to go do. He's not trying to get anything out of the situation other than tour the plant, give respect to the people working there. And someone heckled him. He didn't have time to deal with it, but he let him know, hey, here's what I think about you. And it's an authentic reaction. He's not trying to get anything out of it. He's just responding to something somebody said to him. Where when Cindy Carpenter did it, she tried to say, look, here, I'm a powerful commissioner in Butler County. Listen to me. And then when they didn't listen to her, even when they went into the other room and she thought they weren't looking, she got caught on camera flipping them off, which is even kind of worse because she didn't even do it to their face. Trump did it to the face of the guy heckling him. Cindy Carpenter waited till everybody's back was turned and then does it when she thinks no one's looking, but the camera's caught her doing it. So not only is it rude and disparaging and passive aggressive, it actually reveals that she's not who she really projects herself to be. And when she thinks the cameras aren't looking, she's flipping people off. And Trump did it to the person's face that was causing the trouble. So big differences, even though they involve the same thing. But the double standard isn't something because Trump can get away with it and Cindy Carpenter can't. It's because Trump's authentic and acts as a representative of people and what they expect out of an elected representative. And Cindy Carpenter is an entitled Karen that wants to use her power and authority to use her office to gain favorable positioning for family members. And so it comes across radically different, much different situation, not even in the realm of sameness. But I know that everybody, the statement to me was, well, why are you making a big deal about Cindy Carpenter doing this when Trump does the same kind of stuff? And then the other statement is, well, Cindy Carpenter in the Republican Party, Trump has shown that it's okay to do these kinds of things. So she's just doing what is now politically acceptable. That is not that's not the case at all. That's an excuse, and it assumes that all behavior has an element of sameness to it. Even if it's a disparaging curse word utilized in a physical symbol, the utilization of it is not the same. There's a way to do things and there's a way not to do things. And she continues to always do what isn't right and do it in the wrong ways and misreads just about everything she's ever done. And that's what's got her in the kind of trouble that she's been in. And in this case, it shows what an unhinged person she is, which is something that is revealed by people who work with her and talk about it in other conditions. There's a public face that she has that gets elected, and then there's the person she is in private. Where I think Trump has a face that says, I'm who I am, whether the door is closed or open, and I'm going to let you see it and be a part of it, and you can vote for it or not, and people chose that they were going to vote for it. So when you try to conceal that kind of thing, and in her case, Cindy Carpenter, she did it when she didn't know there was a camera on her and the people were in the other room. Trump did his to the person that was yelling at him at the time, and he did it where the camera's on, and he really didn't care who saw it. That's a big difference in authenticity and why Trump can get away with it and Cindy Carpenter can't. Because it's not just the rude act of lashing out at people who disagree with you. More than that, it's about what kind of person are you when people are paying attention or not paying attention, and who you actually represent. And in the case of that incident with Cindy Carpenter, it was embarrassing to see. It showed a lack of control, and it showed exactly what people are worried about when they elect representatives who go off the rails and don't really know how to use the leverage of their position to make good things happen, but instead expect the title to give them merit where they otherwise don't have it and can't get it for themselves, but only through elected office. In Trump's case, Trump was somebody before he was given a title of public service, and he doesn't have to rely on it to define himself. So he can get away with flipping somebody off if he doesn't like what they're doing or saying. So yeah, it's the same act, two different situations, same act, but much different result and much different interpretation on its merits. So when Trump flips somebody off at the Ford factory, it's kind of cool, and I think we cheer it and we like it. When Cindy Carpenter does it, we see an unhinged Karen who throws a temper tantrum when she doesn't get things her way, and we think it's kind of silly and don't respect it very much. And she certainly didn't do herself any favors by doing it, and getting caught doing it, and doing it in the fashion that she performed it. If you're gonna do something like that, you got to be the same person, whether the lights are on or off, whether you have a door open or closed, because you got to be the same person to everybody at all times over everything. And if you show yourself to be kind of a two-faced person, no wonder people aren't going to trust you. And Trump's been the same no matter who's around and what's going on, where Cindy Carpenter has a public persona that she has cultivated over a long period of time. and when everybody's backs are turned, she's somebody else. And that's what she revealed with her unfortunate circumstance and how it's much different than when Trump did it. So it's not an unfairness thing, it's an authenticity thing, and she failed the test. Anyway, it's Rich Hoffman here. Share, subscribe, make tomorrow a better day. If you ever read my book, The Gunfighter's Guide to Business, I think you'll love it. Anyway, have a good day. See you later.